Today I'm just going to run through our Kubota GR1600 Infinity deck and our GR2120S, which is also a side discharge or mulching option in the Kubota range. So to start with your GR1600, this machine is equipped with a 13.5 horsepower twin cylinder diesel engine, obviously built and made by Kubota. It consists of a 42-inch cutting deck with the side discharge chute on the side, as you can see here, and there is an option to put a plate on the side here, block off the side chute and put in a mulching kit in underneath to fully chop up the grass and put it out the back. I suppose where you'd have the side chute in operation would be in the heavier crop, or definitely earlier in the season, maybe when the crop is that bit heavier, for the first cut. Or look, I suppose if you're leaving the lawn that bit longer before cutting, you might be as well leave it in side chute operation. If you're going for the more refined cut, looking to chop that grass up and avoid maybe the trail of grass behind you, you could go for the mulching option, but it would entail cutting the lawn a lot more frequently. Definitely if you're mulching in this country in the height of the season, you'd want to be cutting every 5 to 7 days at a maximum, you know. Otherwise you will have too heavy a crop and will cause the mower to block up and stuff like that. I suppose on that machine, it's a shaft driven transmission with a hydrostatic drive, so there's no gears, it's forward and back on the one pedal, so it's forward and back there. You have a parking brake and a brake system there, and as I said, it's fully shaft driven from your transmission. No drive belt on that machine, down to the wheels at all through the transmission, shaft driven transmission. There is a belt or two on the top of the deck, so if we just lower this deck down to its minimum. So if you want to see in here, you will have your covers here, which are easily removed. There is a belt going across the deck there that keeps the blades in sync. It's not a timed deck on these, it's just a standard V-belt system. The blades are within millimeters off each other to basically leave no gaps, but at the same time it's not a timed deck. So again, very, very easy for removing and reinstalling a belt.
And is that the same on the normal GR1600?
It is, yeah. So similar, it's a different deck, but it is the same system. It's one belt on the machine, and again a V-belt system, and two blades underneath that particular one. So two larger blades, which will differ on the 2120S when we look at it. So that's really it, I suppose, on that machine. One thing I forgot to show you there, folks, was I suppose how you adjust your cutting heights on this machine. So basically you bring your cutting deck up to the very top, and then it allows you to alter the cutting height on the dial. So basically you can go from setting anywhere from the setting 1, which is the lowest, to 4, which is the highest, and then you have increments of basically you have increments in between. So you have 1, 1 1/4, 1 1/2, 1 3/4, 2, and so on and so forth. And basically you select your height, let it be 2 1/4 there, and drop your deck. That sets that at that height, completely at that height as it is. On the back here you have, obviously, you have no collector chute or direct chute, so it's basically closed off back end on it, and you have a wee toe and eye hitch for pulling a wee sprayer, trailer, whatever you might want to pull with it. So that's built in on the side, on the back of it as well. So that's really your GR20 or 1600ID. And then moving on now to your 2120S. So I suppose this is the next step up in terms of the 1600, and I suppose the differences in this is mainly the engine goes to a 3-cylinder 21 horsepower diesel, as opposed to 2-cylinder. So you are going into a much stronger machine, and obviously a 3-cylinder engine. The deck also gets a good bit wider, so you're moving to a 48-inch wide 3-bladed deck. So you have your 3 blades across the bottom of the deck, 2 larger blades and 1 smaller blade. And again, it's the same system for raising and lowering the deck, but the difference on this one is the deck is actually adjusted on the cutting height is adjusted on a ram or a hydrostatic or hydraulic lift. So you basically raise and lower your deck on hydraulic lever. You can see on this machine you have a lot wider and bigger tyres, front and back, that spreads the weight of that machine a lot more even. The reason there is a need for them, of course, is the fact that it is a heavier machine to begin with. So that's why you do see a good bit wider tyres and rims on that machine. The same options exist in terms of side discharge or rear discharge with mulching. So you have your side discharge option there with the chute on it. You can block off that and add the mulching kit and leave it rear discharge. That is pretty much it. The roll bar protection cage is on the 2120 due to its extra weight, and that can be folded down halfway via the wee lads here and the pin there. So you pop them out, loosen that, and that'll fold across. So for storage or bringing into your garage, etc., you can obviously lower that down. Both of them machines are coming standard with 2 years or 500-hour warranty, which is on them machines from standard. Obviously, we do all of the servicing here and backup on them. So there is actually a service guide printed and stuck on the inside of your bonnet, which will tell you what exactly has to be done at each hours. So if you follow that and keep in touch with us on it, we can keep your machine in tip-top condition.
Quick one for you, Adam. Why would I go for a Z deck or an S1 or from standard?
From your collector model. So I suppose it really would come down to the type of work you're doing or the type of finish you're aiming for. I suppose if you were someone that preferred to mulch the grass or not collect the grass, maybe don't have the way of getting rid of grass, I would say that's where your mulcher deck comes in, or your infinity deck comes into its own. Obviously your collector system does lift every blade of grass, and probably the finish is quite nice because of that, but you do have to dispose it off the grass, you know, which can be difficult depending on where you are. That would be one of the main reasons for going for one over the other. So that's it. If you want to get a bit more information on the GR1600 or the 2120S or their collector models, we have both in stock here ready to go. You can see them all online as well on clarkesofcavan.ie, or as I say, pop into the store here where all are displayed and we can run you through each model.